guys, my name is Anna, and today we will talk about the most popular questions from our clients regarding the law. Today with us, Mohammed. Mohammed, our legal advisor. Mohammed, how are you?
Hello, Anna. How are you? All good.
I'm good also. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so I prepared the most popular questions from our clients, and let's start.
Yeah, please.
Could you tell us, please, the most important thing and what is the difference between short-term and normal-term agreements?
Okay, very good start to let all the investors and the people who are renting out their apartments to know the difference between the terms of the rent. So we have the short-term rent, which is less than 6 months. You can rent out your apartment for 1 day, 2 days, or on daily basis, weekly basis, and even for few months, but up to 6 months. And in that kind of renting, you don't need to apply for tenancy. You don't need to sign tenancy contract or register ijari, because everything should be paid from the owner side, and you are paying that fees in advance while you're renting out, or you're paying the rent for that apartment or that property, for the DEWA, for the AC, for everything. So no tenancy contract, just an internal agreement between you and the company who is renting out that apartment. And these companies we are calling here in the market the holiday homes companies, who are entitled in renting out that kind of apartments. And in the other section that we have the other term of the rent, that more than 6 months, and you can rent out your apartment, but you have to sign a tenancy contract with the tenant. As you an owner, you have to sign tenancy contract, collect your PDC, your security deposit, and register ijari with the service centers of the DLD. So you have to differentiate between both sections. So in the short term, no ijari, no tenancy contract. In the normal term, in other term, you have to sign tenancy contract and you have to register ijari. And in the tenant, most of the situations that the tenant has to pay his own bills in the normal terms, while when he signed the tenancy contract, so he has to pay his bills and all the utility bills. So this is the main difference between both of them.
Very interesting. And what kind of documents we need to sign the tenancy contract?
See, for the tenancy contract, for the foreigners or the visitors, I mean visitors who don't have Emirates ID, they cannot sign tenancy contract. I mean that the people who are not UAE residents, which they don't have Emirates ID, they cannot rent an apartment for long term or sign tenancy contract. In order to sign tenancy contract, the first thing you must have is your Emirates ID. Without it, you cannot sign a tenancy contract, you cannot register ijari. So you can only rent an apartment for short-term rent, but not a tenancy contract or not the other term of rent.
So I can't sign like for the long term agreement without Emirates ID.
Exactly.
So like even I have a passport, yes, I can't.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't work. You should
Okay.
have an Emirates ID in order to sign a tenancy contract and apply for the DEWA connection and the internet connection, gas, and any utilities you want to connect. So you have to hold your Emirates ID. You have to be a resident.
Okay, so after we sign tenancy contract, and how we need to register it? So what is the procedure?
Okay, for the ijari registration, okay, let's say start from scratch. Now you found out an apartment. You are as a tenant looking for an apartment to rent. So you found the apartment. You called the owner and you made a deal with him to pay that amount of annual rent, and you have a deal with him already. So and you signed the tenancy contract and hand over the PDC. Any of the landlord and the tenant can apply for the ijari registration, but let's say that the market norm here in Dubai, that most of the times that the tenant is registering the ijari himself. How he can register? He can visit any service centers authorized or licensed from the Dubai Land Department and just paying few dirhams, I guess around 200 plus in that amount, from 170 to 250. Just few dirhams he has to pay in order to register ijari, and once he registered the ijari, then he can connect all the utilities in his apartment.
So usually it should do the tenant, yes?
Yeah, you mean that he has to register
Yes,
the ijari?
register or
Yes.
owner.
Absolutely, yes. No, it depends on the agreement between them, but I'm telling you that the market norm here, that most of the tenants are registering ijari themselves, not the landlord.
And who should pay a fee?
It's
Fees?
also based on the agreement between both of them, and
But in practice?
the practice here that the tenant is paying.
Uh-huh. Okay, interesting. And for example, if I owner and I have my own apartment and I want to sell it, but I already have a long-term tenancy contract with tenant,
Okay.
can I sell my apartment?
Yes. In that situation, you are a landlord and you have a purchaser or a potential buyer want to buy your apartment and you're interested in selling that apartment. So, and that apartment is already is a rented apartment, not vacant. So, what are the process or the procedures that you have to follow in order to sell your apartment smoothly without any complications? Say, selling for selling that apartment and it's rented apartment, no need to send a notice to your tenant. Legally, no need to send a notice to your tenant and informing him that you are selling your apartment while he's inside the apartment. But you can say, for a polite way and more respectful way, you can inform him that the tenancy contract will be transferred to a new owner and the PDC will be under the new owner name, or he will collect the checks. He can hand over the checks back to him and let him sign new checks to the new landlord, just in order to have a respectful relation with your tenant, that you're informing him that I'm leaving the apartment, I'm selling the apartment, here is the new landlord, let them connect together, just in order to maintain the relation between you and the tenant. But from the legal aspect, no need to send him a notice that you are selling the apartment while he's inside.
So I can do it, but it's better to like inform my.
In kind of respect, yes.
Okay, interesting. And we had this experience in our company. We had already had this case. If I'm owner and my tenant doesn't pay, what I can do? What I should do?
Okay, you have a tenant, he's not paying his rent, or let's say he gave you at the beginning of the tenancy contract, he gave you or hand over a PDC, which stands for post-dated checks. You when you get these checks, you are depositing the first check, which covered the first period of the rent, and let's say after a few months, while you're depositing the second check, that check bounced. Okay,
Yes.
that check bounced. According to the law, the rental code here, which maintain the relation between the landlord and the tenants here in the Emirate of Dubai. If the check bounced, the tenant is not paying his rent, because there are many methods of payment. Let's say a bank transfer,
Yes,
checks, cash, whatever the method of payment. But at the end, we reached the point that the tenant didn't pay the rent.
At all.
Yeah,
Yes.
that installment, let's say. So you have to send him a legal notice with a 30 days. 30 days legal notice. We are calling that eviction notice. That within these 30 days, if he didn't pay the bounce check or the due amount of that rent, you have the full right to file a rental case at RDC, which stands for Rental Dispute Center here in Dubai, and request the judge to evict him from the apartment and to also collect your money or to claim the due amount.
But without court, I can't cancel the agreement.
No.
Can't. Yes.
Yeah, no, you cannot do that. First of all, you got the check bounced. So let's say you are start for the mutually agreement or mutually settling down with the tenant. So you're calling him or emailing him, hello tenant, that check was bounced. Do you have any problem, or shall I wait for some time to collect the money? If he replied, yeah, please, I'm sorry, just wait for some time. So you can wait for some time in order to avoid any problems, and then he will pay. What if he's not answering? He said, no, I don't have money right now, I'm not willing to pay till the end. So you should serve him an eviction notice through the notary public, but we can send him through the registered email, but preferably we prefer to send it through the notary public, okay, through Dubai courts. And this notice lasts for 30 days. If he paid within these 30 days according to the notice, so it's fine, everything settled down. If he didn't pay, then you can file an eviction case at the RDC to vacate him and also to collect the due rent.
Can I do it by myself, or I need to have a lawyer for this situation?
You can do it yourself. It's not that complicated, but it's better if you have a lawyer to instruct you and advise you with the steps and how you can notarize, to draft you the legal notice, to notarize it at the notary public, and then help you in filing the case and represent you in the court and follow the execution procedures when you get the judgment in your favor. It's long steps, long procedures, not complicated, but because you're, for a normal person, not all the landlords know the rental code here in Dubai, so it's better to have a lawyer.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, like I said before, that we already had this experience, and it was very interesting because
Exactly, yes.
we didn't know what we should do, and yeah. If I have my own apartment, yes, and I also have a long-term tenancy contract with tenant, but I decide that I want to live in this apartment.
Okay.
I don't know, after 1 year or like during this like 2-3 months, what I should do.
Okay. You have an apartment right now, and you want to get the apartment back for self-use, or let's say for selling the apartment. For both reasons, we have 4 exclusive reasons that you have to serve the tenant a 12-month notice, not 30 like the previous situation. 12-month notice in order to sell your apartment or to self-use. Self-use, even yourself or for your first degree relation. Okay? So you have to serve him the 12-month notice with the same procedures through the notary public, sending him a notice for 12 months and mention the reason of the eviction, selling or self-use, or other 2 reasons mentioned in the rental code here in Dubai. But the most popular are the selling and the self-use. But you have to make sure that you are not sending that notice because you want to increase the rent and you don't know how to increase the rent, or the rental index is not matching with your interest in raising the rent. So you want to serve him the notice because, let's say, you failed to fulfill the reasons of the eviction. Like, you sent him that you want to sell the apartment, but at the end, when he left the apartment, you didn't sell and you rented out. He has the full right to compensate you because you sent him a legal notice with a certain reason and you didn't fulfill that reason. So he has the full right to file a case at the RDC and compensate you, and most probably.
So I should be very careful with this because maybe
You have to be
after
honest.
this, yes, of course, I can have like a lot of problems.
Yes, many landlords who don't know that information, they are sending their tenants or serving them a 12-month notice and for selling or self-use. And the tenant being surprised that after he leave the apartment and pay for an agency fee, brokerage fee, and moving expenses and renting out a new apartment and all that stuff, he find that a new tenant moved into that apartment. So he already he paid a lot of money. So what to do? He can file a case to get compensation from the landlord.
Okay. So what we will do if, for example, my tenant didn't register Ejari? So it will be like the same procedure with like if I want to use this apartment for myself, or I want to sell this apartment, it's like the same, or I don't know, something like different between these situations.
It's kind different because it's so different because now he's paying the annual rent, everything is fine, but he didn't register Ejari.
Yes.
If he didn't register Ejari, he cannot connect the utilities, all the connections. So for all the tenants, they have to register Ejari because it's their interest. They have to register the Ejari because of them. They have to, because to get the benefits of that apartment, they have to register Ejari to align with the community obligations and the community instructions. They have to register Ejari to get the benefit from the community and utilities and everything. So all the tenants are registering Ejari.
Okay. And last questions regarding renting in Dubai. So, again, I'm a owner and I want to double rent, have double rent after 1 year tenancy contract. Can I do it? Can I charge?
Okay. That's a very good question, because for increasing the rent, you have to follow the rental index, which issued by Dubai Land Department. You cannot increase the rent by yourself. That now you are renting out your apartment, let's say with 100,000 dirhams, and next year you want to increase the rent to 150. You cannot do that. There's a rental index. You can check it through Dubai Rest app or the Dubai Land Department website and check the rental index. You will fill the gaps with the apartment number, location, area, building, all that information that required by the website, and they will inform you the average rent of that place or that area. And we have margins for that increment. If there are a lot of increment percentages, like from 0 to 10 percent, you cannot increase. From 10 to 19, only 5%, and so on. You can find that mentioned in the rental code. So you have to follow the rental index, and you have to align with the instructions from the Dubai Land Department. And let's say also, in order to increase the rent, you have to serve a notice to your tenant. But this notice is 90 days notice prior the expiration of the tenancy contract. So you have to serve him 90 days that, hey tenant, I want to increase the rent. Here is the rental index for that place. I'm renting out that apartment with 100,000. Now the increment or the average rent is 140 or 130, whatever the rent amount. So are you okay to pay that amount? Yeah, I'm fine. So we'll sign a new tenancy contract with the new amounts, and everything is fine. So you have any ways to fulfill to follow the instructions, to fulfill your obligations, to avoid any complications or any cases that may be filed by the tenant, and to avoid any problems in the future.
Okay, interesting. I think we finished regarding renting. It was really interesting. Thank you so much.
Here renting out in Dubai, it's not difficult, but you have to fulfill all the obligations and follow the instructions. And just few tips for the landlords and the tenants as well, that in order, or let's say you are renting out an apartment, now you have a tenant right now, we are preferring always to attach an addendum to the tenancy contract and mention all the obligations and everything, rights and duties for both parties, to maintain the relation along with the tenancy contract, that every one of the parties know what to do, what not, what he cannot do. So no problems, no issues, no complications. You have to attach an addendum. It's better for both of you, so you can at the end know your rights, your obligations, and everything will be smooth between you and the other party.
And so last questions, we have a question. We have tenancy contract. Yes, it's like a short contract, as I know. And we also have addendum. And addendum have the same power like a tenancy contract or not?
Okay. That addendum attached to the tenancy contract, which means, let's say you have the terms and conditions in the tenancy contract, and that addendum, we can say completing or continuing the terms and conditions of the tenancy contract. But you can mention whatever you want in the addendum without any conflict with the laws and the regulations, and ensure the terms and conditions of the main tenancy contract. So we are drafting that addendum for more protection.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Mohammed. Yes.
I hope that we covered most of the valid questions.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Many landlords are finding many complications and problems with their tenants. So we hope that we can help them in order to have a smooth relation with their tenants, and not to find or to face any complications later on or in the future, while they are collecting their rental amounts, or want to vacate the property, want to serve notice, want to do whatever, increase the rent. For each thing you want to do in the during the relation or along the tenancy contract, you have to follow the instructions of the DLD.
Okay, Mohammed, thank you so much.
Most welcome.
Yeah, it was very interesting, and let's discuss the second topic regarding buying in UAE, especially in Dubai. So could you explain us, please, difference between leasehold and freehold?
Absolutely. See, simply explanation. The freehold, that the expat can own the property and the land forever.
Okay.
both of them. He owns the property and the land forever. But for the leasehold, he only owns the property, and that ownership lasts for maximum 99 years only, not forever like the freehold.
And what will be after like
He has
99?
he has to return back that apartment or that property.
So I can't continue it, yes?
No, it's last only for 99 years.
Okay.
That's why we have here in Dubai the designated areas. What are the designated areas? That areas that established by the Dubai government that allowing the expats to purchase properties here in Dubai forever, to own the property and to own the land. So for all the investors or for all the people who are going to buy property here in Dubai, they have to make sure that they are purchasing that property in that designated areas so they can register that property and get their title deed and own the property and the land forever in the freehold areas.
Okay, I think we need maybe let's discuss what kind of visa we also have here in UAE, and then we will discuss what kind of visa we can have after when we buy property. Could you explain us, please?
Okay. Here in Dubai, we have various types of visa. We have the employment, we have the investor, we have the green visa, we have the golden visa, we have various types of visa. So every now and then, or you can find several regulations for the visa here in Dubai that issued by Dubai government to attract people and attract the investors to invest here in Dubai. So you can find multiple kinds of visa for like the investor, the employment, various types. And recently we have the real estate investment visa, which is very good and attracted many investors to invest their money here in real estate in Dubai. So for your second question for the real estate visa, we have various schemes in the to get or to obtain the real estate visa. We have the golden visa for 10 years, we have visa for 5 years, we have for 2 years, we have various kinds of
So three
visa.
types of visas. Yes.
Yes, we have different types, starting with the most popular one for most of the investors, which are the 10 years visa. We are calling it the golden visa. And in order to get that visa, any type of them, you have to fulfill few requirements that required by the land department in order to get that visa. If you want to get all the information, because for each segment you have to fulfill few requirements like the amount of purchasing, you have to submit few documents if it's mortgaged or not mortgaged, if how much you paid from the installments plan or the payment plan. Few requirements you have to fulfill, and in order, if you want to know more about these requirements, you can visit the Dubai DLD Cube website, and you'll find everything relates to the visa, which relates to the real estate investment, everything in details. And sure, we can help you to get your visa, the golden or whatever kind of visa you want to obtain here in Dubai. We can help you to get that visa through purchasing a property in Dubai.
And what was the latest updates regarding like golden visa? We heard that it was something changed. Yeah, changes in this sphere. Could you explain, please, what was before?
We found several changes in how to get the visa. In order to get the visa for the golden one, you have to purchase a property to 2 million plus. And recently they issued the new kind of visa for the retired visa. That if you are retired and your age is 55 plus, then you can apply to get visa here in Dubai through the real estate investment by paying a certain amount. You can also get a visa jointly with your wife when you show the land department attested marriage certificate, and both of you jointly own the apartment 50-50. So you can both of you apply. If one owned the majority, he can apply and sponsor the other. We have different types and different requirements, and all the details, as I said, you can find on the Cube website. For the DLD, all the information mentioned there. And sure, if any of our clients or audience has any question regarding the visa, we can happily answer him and assist him as well to get his visa.
Okay, Mohammed, thank you so much. So, I know that everybody afraid to buy a real estate property abroad because they don't know how inheritance work here in Dubai. So, and in UAE. Could you explain us how it works here?
Okay. I know that many people and investors don't know too much about the inheritance here in Dubai and how they can, after long life, give that property or that apartment to their heirs and beneficiaries. So in order to transfer that ownership very smoothly, so here in Dubai, the basic and the standard law is the Sharia for Muslims. In the Sharia, which is especially for the Muslims, we have fixed shares. You have for the wife, for the father, mother, all these relatives, son, daughter. We have fixed shares. Okay, but for the non-Muslims, what to do? They can register their will. They can draft their will for all their assets here in Dubai. Let's say they have license, apartment, bank account, companies, cars, whatever they own here in Dubai, they can mention everything in their will and register their will in DIFC. Most of the people are preferring DIFC, which is Dubai International Financial Center. Registration, the will there protecting your assets, protecting your money. You can divide your assets among all your heirs and beneficiaries, all your relatives. It's up to you. You can give the half of the assets to someone, the quarter. It's up to you. You can divide whatever you want. So you can register your will in the DIFC, and also there is another option that you can register your will in the Notary Public in Dubai courts. Both have the same power, but here in the market that many people or the expats are preferring, for the non-Muslims, preferring registering their will in the DIFC. And it's very smooth and easy. Just have to find a registered lawyer in the DIFC and he will do everything for you. It's very easy. It's not taking time. And once you register the will, this will protecting all your heirs and beneficiaries, and you will make sure that all your assets will be divided among the shares or the division that you mentioned in the will. So don't worry to purchase or own a property here in Dubai. You can protect your heirs by mentioning everything in the will and register it in the DIFC.
Okay, thank you so much. So, I think last question, the most typical but the most popular, are there any taxes in UAE?
For the property, there is no taxes, zero tax.
Okay,
for purchasing a property here in Dubai, zero tax.
Yeah, but we know that we have some service charges here. And for example, if I buy apartment, there is no taxes here in UAE, but I need to pay service charge, yes?
Okay, that charge that you are paying, we are calling the registration fees. If you are buying a property, off-plan, secondary market, both are same. You are buying a property, so you have to register that property under your name, or transfer the ownership of that property under your name. So in order to make that transfer, you have to pay 4% to the Dubai Land Department. This 4% is the registration fees. 4% out of the purchase price.
So it's in Dubai, yeah? And for example, if we talk about Abu Dhabi?
It's different. For the real estate, it's different from one emirate to another.
Okay.
So,
And,
but here in Dubai, it's 4%.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mohammed.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for joining us today. And we prepared the guide from our Mohammed and from Nevestate with the most important tips. And if you want to download it, please follow the link under this video. And we will see you in our next video. Thank you.